the era of global news coverage, we aim to tell the truth. Through meticulous discussions and in-depth analyses about stories that matter the most. We underline key events as and when they happen. Watch Newsroom with me, Umar Khalid Bas, for a daily roundup of the latest international and local top stories.
Just like the billboard paintings performed in Pakistan, there is another indigenous form of art performed in Pakistan, and it is the truck art. With its all colorful floral patterns, depiction of human heroes with creative aspects, ratios, calligraphy of poetic verse, and drivers' words of wisdom. This form of art is truly a part of Pakistani transport tradition. Many trucks and buses in Pakistan are highly customized and decorated by their owners. These adjourned vehicles are considered as moving art or jingle art. Because of their unique decor style, these vehicles are quite distinct in layers from other trucks around the world. Each part of the vehicle is decorated differently, with variations depending on the regional style. In Pakistan, a truck driver owner usually pays $3,000 to $5,000 for their vehicle's external decoration. The art embellishes such trucks according to the particular tastes of the driver. Nearly every city in Pakistan has a unique decor. The Balochistan and Peshawari trucks are heavily trimmed with wood. Rawalpindi and Islamabad trucks have permanently featured plastic work. Camel-borne ornamentation is commonly seen in trucks decorated by Sindh artists. These trucks are also representative of different local, historical and cultural regions of Pakistan. Thus, these trucks are also representative of different historical and cultural regions of Pakistan, the enchanting arts and crafts of Pakistan.
What is the real Pakistani society about? What are our beliefs and what are our aspirations? Reflecting the true picture of our otherwise misunderstood Pakistani society. Reality versus perception Where do we see our place in the global society? Join me, Fafa Shaheen, in rediscovering the real Pakistani society.
The successful harvest is a reason to celebrate and enjoy the fruits of labor. We present to you the dawn to dusk Punjabi dance.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to PTV World News. I'm Shahzad Qayyum with the top stories of this hour. International Monetary Fund and Pakistan reach an agreement on a package of measures to complete second to fifth reviews of the authorities reform program worth around $500 million. Prime Minister Imran Khan thanks overseas Pakistanis for responding strongly to Russian digital accounts. $500 million was sent to Pakistan in just 5 months. The 7th multinational maritime exercise Aman 2021 concludes in Karachi. President Dr. Arif Alvi attends concluding ceremony as the chief guest. Governor Sindh Imran Ismail discusses matters relating to upcoming Senate elections with Prime Minister Imran Khan in Islamabad. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi arrives in Cairo on a 2-day visit to Egypt to further strengthen and diversify bilateral cooperation and enhance high-level exchanges. A total of 170 candidates filed their nomination papers with the Election Commission of Pakistan for the Senate elections. Scrutiny of nomination papers to be held on Wednesday and Thursday. Federal government will only issue travel documents to Nawaz Sharif and will not renew his passport. Information Minister Shibli Farrukh says Mr. Sharif is a proclaimed offender as per law and will not become his facilitator by issuing him a passport. Federal Minister for Interior Sheikh Rashid says government will not create hurdles and allow the lawful long march of Pakistan Democratic Movement. Myanmar's military junta guarantees that it would hold an election and hand over power, denied its ouster of an elected government was a coup, or that its leaders detain and accuse protesters of violence and intimidation. The 6th edition of Pakistan Super League is just around the corner and cricket fever is returning as foreign players and officials continue to descend on Karachi. The HPL PSL 6 explodes into action at the National Stadium from 20th of February. Well, that's all for the moment. For more details and live streaming, log on to our website world.ptv.com.pk. You can find us on Facebook page with the name of PTV World and follow us on Twitter at WorldPTV. Thanks a lot for watching, and it's goodbye for now.
Ayubia National Park, a wonderland of sky-touching trees, beautiful birds, and a wide variety of animals. Ayubia was declared a national park in 1984. It covers an area of 33 square kilometres. This park is full of flora and fauna. The forest park is home to 31 species of mammals, including the common leopard, rhesus monkey, yellow-throated martin and Indian porcupine. Around 203 bird species can be found in the park. The park's biodiversity includes 757 plant species. "19 species of reptiles, and 650 species of insects. Ayubia National Park has a network of natural springs and freshwater streams, which besides adding to the scenic beauty, are important sources of water for the local communities. This park is a haven for the adventure-seeking tourist and nature lover. Various trails snake through the forest, which are ideal for hikers and bird watchers. In order to preserve this unique natural heritage, visitors are requested to follow the park rules. Do not litter. Littering destroys the beauty of the park and harms the fragile ecosystem. The garbage you leave behind ends up in streams and pollutes the water used by thousands of people in downhill areas. Do not uproot plants or trees. Do not kill or trap animals. Do not vandalize park property. Do not light fires in the forest. Dry pine needles are quick to catch fire, which can spread easily and destroy vast areas of the forest cover. Do not feed the monkeys. Monkeys are wild animals, and although they may look cute, close human contact can be dangerous. Monkeys carry diseases which can be transmitted to humans. Feeding them only encourages them to move closer to human settlements. The forest is home to animals and birds that are disturbed by loud sounds. You are a guest in the forest, therefore please respect its residents. This forest is a treasure trove of natural wonders. By following the park rules, you can play your role in preserving the natural heritage of Pakistan.
Hello and welcome to Politics Today. I'm Farrukh Pitafi. Once again we have to talk about the Senate elections, and that is not all, because on one side we are talking about the candidates that are being nominated and see what exactly is going to become of those lists that perhaps are still not finalized, especially when it comes to PTI's list. There still are doubts about certain nominees, but that is not all. There are many things that are happening on the other side. If you look at the circumstances, the issue of modalities is still being debated in the Supreme Court of Pakistan, whether it is going to be an open ballot election or whether it is going to be a secret ballot with some kind of modification. Today, the Election Commission, its members and Chief Election Commissioner were called to the Supreme Court. And there, they especially made a point of saying that it is a constitutional matter. It does not actually fall under the rubric of Election Act 2017. It is important to remember that this is the exact request on which the presidential reference has been filed in the Supreme Court of Pakistan. Now, the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan has tasked the Chief Election Commissioner to come up within 24 hours to come up with the formula to ensure that no money is used and there is no electoral fraud during the Senate elections. We are going to talk about modalities as well. And then, of course, there are by-elections that are taking place in various parts of the country, one today, others in a few days. But Halim Adil Sheikh, a senior leader of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, today came under fire, actually had to face a lot of controversy. We are going to talk about that as well. In order to help us understand these issues, we are joined by Ibrahim Khan Sahab, who is MNA of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, the ruling party. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Naseem Siddiqui Saab sits next to him, senior journalist, analyst. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. And on Skype, we are joined by Dana Ehsan Afzal Khan Saab, who is the leader, young leader of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. Thank you very much, Dana Saab, for being part of the program as well. Let me start with you, Ibrahim Khan Saab. It seems that your list is still quite controversial. I mean, Faisal Wada Saab, his nomination still seems to be controversial because he is already an MNA, and an MNA who is actually facing, prosecution. And in that situation, there is a possibility that he might get disqualified under Article 62-63. And you are actually making 2 seats, not one, vulnerable, by actually allotting him the ticket. Why is it that your party didn't seem to do the homework?
Well, I'm sure the Prime Minister has complete confidence and homework in hand, and he has made the decision.
See,
there were controversies within the party on the same issue, but I think whatever the final decision is by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, the party is going to stand by it by all means. But since we have this democratic norm within our party, we speak out and we speak out loud even in front of the Prime Minister, and he listens with the great patience.
Okay. So you don't think that anybody who is actually raising voice right now might face some kind of reaction in coming days?
You see, it's been 2.5 years. There have been more louder voices raised, and you see, it's your perspective, the way you take things. Prime Minister takes things very, perspectively instead of taking it personal or on any kind of a ego.
Just to be clear, if one says that there was lack of homework, it doesn't actually reflect on PM. We are talking about an entire party, and they had a parliamentary board to decide whom to nominate. And after this much time, one would have thought that they had actually created the kind of environment that was needed to actually finalize a list. And even today, the list keeps on changing.
If you look at the past behavior of any big party, decisions are even changed at the last moment, not in this particular case, but in any...
Are you like the ordinary parties?
We are not like an ordinary party, we are a Tehreek. And in a Tehreek, it's a system of evolution.
Okay.
You keep on evolving, or you make decisions according to the situation and the moments.
Now that you mention, you call it a Tehreek, I thought that one interpretation of Urdu word Tehreek can be flux. You might be in constant flux, but let me go to our second guest, Naseem Siddiqui Saab. So your take on the list so far, do you think that there are controversies and there is lack of homework?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Farrukh. I think that's the beauty of the democracy, that people speak what they don't want or what they want.
Okay.
And if the leader of the party is listening to everybody, because he cannot give ticket to everyone. When there is a distribution of tickets in provincial elections...
Hang on. Is it the leader of the party who issues the ticket, or the entire body of the party that decides?
The entire body decides, and the final decision is by
the
leader.
There was a parliamentary board, 10-member parliamentary board. What was that doing?
He was doing the same thing, but in the end, that the leader of the party has his discretion as well, and he can do some political move. If he's bringing water from National Assembly to Senate, that's not the first time. Many times that some people, they have been resigned from their seats and they are taken to the other constituencies as well. So that's a political move that we'll see what happens in the future. But if Faisal Wada has done a lot for the party, so that's why if Imran Khan wants to...
And this concern that if there is an ongoing case on him, right? He was fined for allegedly dilly-dallying as well. Now that that case is being heard, if tomorrow he is disqualified, how will he actually retain the Senate seat?
Definitely they might be thinking on this, and this thing is in the knowledge of Prime Minister as well. So they might have something in the planning, and they will see, because this is
I
assumption.
respect what you're saying, but I just want to actually, and I realize that we are talking about the same person, but you keep on referring to Prime Minister.
Because he has got a lot of confidence in
No, but it is a matter of hats. So while he is nominating people, he is actually the party head rather than the Prime Minister, right?
Yes.
I just wanted to actually clarify this point, because there is a difference between the two.
May I explain the whole situation? I mean,
very quickly.
Elaborate a little bit on this.
Yeah.
The committee makes recommendations with the sole discretion of the Prime Minister of Pakistan to make final decision.
Or the leader of the party.
Of the leader of the party.
As a leader of the party. Okay.
Because there was a time when
as a leader of the party,
Abbasi was the Prime Minister. I'm sure he didn't make decisions for your party.
But as a chairman of the party, he takes all the recommendations and makes final decision.
All right. Let me bring in Rana Ahsan Afzal Saab. Rana Saab, we can question the PTI about its own nomination process. But it seems that in your party also, only the same faces keep on getting the nominations again and again. It might not be a rich elite, but it is an elitism of sort that this seems to be an elite capture, don't you think?
Not at all, not at all. I think the reason why in our party, after the nomination of the candidate, there was no ruckus, there was no resistance from the party. And that is because all the candidates were deserving, and most of them are returning candidates. As you know that according to the our seats, we are expected to win 5 seats. So on those 5 seats, I think all the senior leadership of our party has been nominated, and they're all well deserved. So I don't think, and all of them have had a good performance in the
former
Senate.
Prime Minister actually complains that Mushahidullah Khan Sahab should not be nominated, he is ill and maybe he shouldn't be there. Do you think that there is no resistance in the party? And secondly, when you say that there is no resistance, does it actually show that the party internally is democratic?
Of course our party is democratic. The Parliamentary board which decides which recommends the tickets, the nominations, and then it is finalized by the chairman of the party. So it is a democratic way, and while considering these candidates, their past experience, their exposure, and their work for the party is considered. And yes, you're right, this is a well pointed out fact that Mushahidullah Sahab has been suffering, has had a bad health phase. But he has been one of the most active members of the Senate. So I think these, obviously everyone has a different opinion, but at the end of the day, whoever the majority of the Parliamentary board members recommend will get the Senate tickets, and I think it has been done quite smoothly in our party.
Right. Let me ask you another thing. You use 2 terms: parliamentary party or parliamentary board, and then you talked about chairman of the party. Kindly tell me who is heading the parliamentary board and who is the chairman these days?
The chairman is Shahbaz Sharif, who is obviously in jail right now. So Mia Nawaz Sharif is making the final decisions after the recommendations of
Nawaz Sharif is not the chairman, and he is disqualified.
Raja Zafrullah.
No,
yes,
but with due respect, Mia Nawaz Sharif is disqualified. He cannot hold any office.
Yes, Raja Zafrullah, but he's not. The final decision lies with Mia Nawaz Sharif after the recommendation of our board, which decides which is accepting and scrutinizing the nomination, the applicants of the Senate.
Right. Ibrahim Khan Sahab, when you say that it is the discretion of the Prime Minister, chairman of the party,
right?
What does your constitution say? Your party's constitution. Does it empower the party head with so much power that he can decide on everything?
Sure.
Okay, so you realize how that might be troubling, because in democracy, party has to have an internal mechanism where Nobody has a veto.
It's not the veto part, it's the consideration that when the 10 members committee recommended different names.
All right. And you are saying that that committee is basically an advisory body. Is it not?
It is advisory party. I mean, you can call it advisory plus suggestive or recommending different names of different people. So, and then each and every single person is discussed upon with his merits and demerits.
No,
and,
I just pointed out that the Prime Minister of Pakistan at this moment wears more than one hat, right? So the question that I have to ask you is that if he is busy, running a country is not a small thing.
Sure.
Shouldn't your CEC be actually deciding who actually gets the ticket rather than just one?
Actually, the basic groundwork is done by the CEC or not even in this case the CEC. There is a large number of people who are in the CEC.
Okay.
But those 10 people who were nominated for having a debate on the issue of, issuing tickets, for Senate to any of the candidates.
Who decided the name of the candidate from Balochistan?
The top leadership.
Who is top leadership? The board or the chairman of the party?
The board.
Okay.
Yeah.
And didn't they know that this person actually is not from your party and he's from Balochistan Awami Party? He's a rich man.
You see, he has not been granted a final ticket.
No. Initially, his name came up, and then it was announced that he has gotten the ticket, and then after that, there was a reaction from Balochistan and the media, and then it was withdrawn, conceded actually. And perhaps that was the time when Prime Minister, being the chairman of the party, stepped in and decided other way around.
As far as I know, his name was on the table like any other candidates who was wishing to contest this Senate elections.
Okay.
He was one of them, and so there was a lot of hue and cry about it. So Prime Minister had to look into it personally and made the decision because he's the head of the party, chairman of the party, and Prime Minister of Pakistan.
Yeah, this concern that political parties don't have internal democracy, and they are concerned about electoral process and how things are transparent. That actually worries everybody. Does it worry you?
Tell you the truth, no. In our case, it's different.
How?
Because we debate it out with the merits and demerits.
Okay.
And final decision is made collectively. It's not a single-handed decision.
So nobody has discretion?
Chairman has the final discretion.
So it is not collective decision, it is an executive decision then?
Executive in a case that you are not coming to a conclusion, or if there is
let us move on from the list. And let me ask you, you are a reporter who's in the know, who knows a lot. Tell me, what is the going rate for Senate tickets?
As told by the Prime Minister, it's
not Balochistan, Punjab as well.
Punjab as well, it comes like 5 crore to 10 crore. In some cases, it might go to.
Punjab is cheaper. Balochistan is expensive.
Yes, Balochistan
Why?
is expensive. There are limited seats in Balochistan.
No, the seats are equal in Punjab and Balochistan.
No, but according to the electoral votes, they have less people to vote for one seat.
Yeah.
There are more people in Punjab to vote for one seat. So that's why, because you have to pay limited people over there in Balochistan, so rate is higher.
So we are talking about the price of a ticket, not of a seat.
No, not for the ticket. There is no price for the ticket at the moment. Might be somebody taking, but I don't know that some parties are taking money for the tickets. That's not in my knowledge. But for the votes, I'm sure that there is a rate.
Then actually square this circle for me, that you are saying that a province which has a bigger population, which has more MPs, that costs less because you can bribe more people with less money than a province which has less MPs, and you have to still bribe them with too much money.
Exactly, because there are less people. The total amount will accumulate like same amount for that seat.
But you were talking about the seats price, not the tickets.
The seats price, no, not the ticket price.
Does it break your heart that we are talking about something as important as the territorial house like this?
But I'm really grieved on these things, because when the people in the upper house are coming with bribes and giving money for their seats, what they will do for the people of Pakistan, what they will do for the nation, that's the thing which has given like grief to everybody. Like Prime Minister, if he's saying that we want open ballot, that's the reason that they want to discontinue this money matters in electoral system.
Now tell me about Yusuf Raza Gitlani. Why do you think he's coming to Islamabad? He's from Multan.
He's from Multan. Asad Umar is from Karachi, but he fought on a seat from Islamabad.
No, but that was not a Senate seat.
That was
it was an open election and he won it.
But anybody can come, because Yusuf Raza Gitlani has got a house in Islamabad as well. He's a resident of Islamabad, and he is a nice candidate. He is cool and calm. He is acceptable to every fraternity of politicians. So that's why I think they are...
What is this magic thrall he has over, it seems that the entire media of Pakistan is in thrall of the man. Whenever I ask anybody, they are criticizing Asif Ali Zardari, this, that, the other person. The moment Yusuf Raza Gitlani comes or his name is mentioned, immediately people start saying he's a great candidate.
Because he is soft-spoken. He's well dressed. His personality is.
He's a man who was disqualified in his nomination. He did not disclose it today, and there is an objection that has been filed against him.
But that's on his part. But you asked me that why people like him.
No, the media.
Media. I don't know why media does, because he has been very nice with the media when he was Prime Minister. He has been the Speaker of the National Assembly.
So in a country where Senate seats are sold, media cannot be sold.
Anything is on sale in Pakistan. You just have to put a right price for the right thing.
Right. Rana Ehsan Afzal Saab, with due respect, I understand that your party regards its own workers highly. So the question is, why is it that you overlook, candidates from Islamabad and you give ticket, or you actually support Yusuf Raza Gitlani?
Paul Pitafi Saab, allow me to comment on the vote buying. I don't think that, and I believe this, that not everyone's vote is bought, be it provincial assembly members or the National Assembly members.
Okay.
Might be a very small minority which indulges in such behavior, but I'm 100% sure that maybe 90% and more people vote according to their parties or according to their of who the right candidate is. So we are talking about a very small minority. So it's not disgrace the highest house in Pakistan. And up till now, legally, I think
I spot some cognitive dissonance with due respect, sir. You are saying that no people are bought or sold, and yet it was your party in 2018 that kept on complaining that a lot of your MNAs and MPs voted for somebody else. So you were conceding that there was corruption there.
And they never sorted out.
And I'm still, no. Pitafi Saab, I'm still conceding that there is corruption, but I'm saying that you cannot say that everyone is involved in it. It is a minority which indulges in such behavior, but to put it across to the public that everyone is involved in it would not be correct.
Right.
Now,
now let me rephrase the question about Yusuf Raza Gitlani. Your party maintains that it was perhaps some angels or Khalai Makhluk, some kind of aliens who actually brought your Balochistan government down, and then they brought about a change in the Senate as well. But I recall that it was Zardari Saab who openly designated a gentleman who went and bought and sold votes, brought down the Balochistan government, then actually toppled the Senate apple cart as well. And now it seems that your party is rewarding Zardari Saab's party by supporting their candidate in Islamabad?
Well, right now, everyone, we are with the PDM, the Pakistan Democratic Movement, and the People's Party is a member of PDM.
Let me remind you, you told me last time that PDM is not an electoral alliance. So is it now an electoral alliance, sir?
Yes, of course, for Senate, we have come up with a candidate for the chairman of Senate, and it's from PDM, and it's Yusuf Raza Gilani, and all the parties which are allied with PDM will be voting for that. So yes, there is this new thing for the Senate chairman. We are supporting Yusuf Raza Gilani. The parties are supporting him.
Okay, it seems, Rana Sahab, that you have spilled some beans here, because your party still hasn't actually finalized the name of the chairman Senate. They were just mentioning that he is going to be the consensus candidate from Islamabad. So I think that you have actually given us some breaking news that he is going to. It shows us what exactly might be the game plan, right? So money is going to be used. How are you going to stop it?
I would really hesitate commenting on Yusuf Raza Gilani since I have defeated him.
Okay.
One.
So why are you not? Hang on.
Okay.
Like Bada Sahab, why are you not for letting go of your seat, MNA seat, and actually contesting the Senate election against him, so that you could once again give us the great news?
Okay, well, I mean, he has already given one good news a day is more than enough, I guess. But I think in Islamabad, the Senate elections, we have a clear majority of 16 to 17 people.
Okay.
And we are very comfortable. We have no issue with, getting our people elected.
Okay.
And so I don't foresee, the whole PDM altogether join hands.
You're very confident, and yet you have actually gone from pillar to post to change the bylaws of the election as well, to make it open ballot.
We are only concerned, and we wanted to put our mindset across the people of Pakistan, and wanted to make it good for, make it clear to the people of Pakistan that every time in every single election there have been allegation of, sometimes rigging, the other times is bribes, and so on and on and on. And this saga has to end somewhere. And since PPP brought in this 13th Amendment for floor crafting.
Yeah, but your saga actually reminds me of Charles Dickens, right?
Okay.
The entire novel is dedicated to a few months of a person's life, and all of a sudden, in the last chapter, years upon years pass, right? You kept on waiting for the matter to actually come to a head till the last month, and now you have gone to Supreme Court. You actually tabled something in the in the Parliament as well, and now you have issued an ordinance too. Then you say you keep on doing your homework as well.
But it's us. We are the party, and we have to make decisions according to our own choice when and where.
Yeah, but the problem is that then is
timing
the entire thing is hanging in balance now. You realize that there is an ordinance, right, which has actually been issued in anticipation of Supreme Court's decision, and today there seemed to be an indication, because Election Commission of Pakistan has opined, there is a possibility you might not get the kind of relief you are asking for.
This is exactly what our Prime Minister said. He said, if it's not an open ballot, if it's a secret ballot, government always has the edge. And if that was the consideration, then we would have not even brought this, tabled this issue.
Let us talk about homework. Who is going to be your chairman Senate nominee? Your parties?
No, that's right. After the elections, we will. There are certain considerations.
In 2018 elections,
right?
In 2018 election, national elections, when your party was running, we knew who's going to be the Prime Minister of Pakistan if your party wins. So you have to have a final candidate. Don't you have one?
Well, that was very loud and clear. I mean, a gentleman who has given 22 years of his life struggling for the restoration of the real democracy.
I'm not objecting. I'm not complaining about that. I see the logic there. I'm saying, why not apply the same logic here?
Maybe the decision has already been taken, or it will be taken, or it is in the process of, decision making.
Maybe
that lies with those 10 members who have been nominated to sit in for the considerations.
Why 10 members? Why not the entire party?
Why not the entire party? That totally depends on the chairman's selection or the members of the senior members of the party.
Not the constitution. It depends.
The constitution allows it.
It depends on the upper hierarchy of the party. Is it not true?
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Upper hierarchy of the party makes it the first year.
Naseem Siddiqui Saab, we are talking about Chairman Senate now. And you have to actually connect the dots. Really, Yusuf Raza Gitlani is going to be PDM's candidate for chairmanship?
I don't think so. At the moment, he is the candidate for Senate seat. But let's see what happens if he wins, which I don't think so. It's not looking that he will be winning. So, nominating him for the chairman Senate is too early. So, the decision will be taken after he has been elected for the Senate, and I don't think so, because PDM has been taking big U-turns as well, because they were asking for the resignations in the initially, and after that they have started contesting the Senate election. So we'll see that if Yusuf Raza Gilani comes by chance, then what PDM take the decision for his chairman Senate.
So let us be very clear. In order for Yusuf Raza Gitlani to become the chairman Senate, there have to be two, not one, upsets. One surprise in the election in Islamabad. That will be a surprise because the People's Party doesn't have the numbers.
Yes.
And then the second surprise in the Senate, where again People's Party or PDM will not have the kind of numbers that are needed to elect a chairman Senate.
When they bring no confidence vote for chairman Senate and their numbers were more than enough, but they got a surprise.
Yeah.
So you can...
No, but with due respect, you keep on actually, everybody implies that there were some secret forces at play. With due respect, it was Zardari Saab's game actually. It seems to be Zardari Saab's game, who actually takes pride. He is called PhD in politics because the deputy chairman was from his party.
Yeah, but you have seen that how many fake PhD degrees are in the market at the moment. So telling somebody, quoting somebody having a PhD degree, if somebody is doing wrong things, and we are promoting him as a doctor of politics.
No, he claims himself to be that.
That's his claim.
And this is what I am saying, that if you start taking things for granted, there is a chance of upsets happening. Is there a chance that Yusuf Raza Gitlani is going to become chairman Senate?
As I told you before, that first of all we should pray for him, or if he comes a senator, then there is a game for the chairman senateship. Then PDM can change their mind, Maulana Fazlur Rahman can change his mind, Mariam can change her mind, Zardari Saab might be playing something else, he has all the cards not to open yet. So we'll see what happens later on. That's not the decision at the moment from PDM, that they are going to nominate Yusuf Raza Gitlani for the chairman.
And if everything goes according to plan, according to the numbers, like PTI has majority of numbers and it gets the members, do you think that the same chairman who's sitting there is going to be detained, or they are going to bring in somebody from their party?
I think the chairman sitting at the moment, he will retain, he will continue.
And deputy will change?
Deputy will change, and that can come from the PTA. That would be the decision of the party, not as a WADA, but anybody who will be the central from PTI, and I'm sure that the party and the leader of the party, they will
help me understand Faisal Wada Saab's case as well, because that is very important. His case is being heard, and there is a chance that he might be unseated, right? If he is unseated,
de-seated,
unseated, de-seated, okay. I actually concede to your point. But if he is de-seated or not disqualified, then I understand what happens, right? But if he is disqualified, what is PTI going to do with the Senate ticket?
Definitely they will be giving it to somebody else then, but I think they are sure that he might be disqualified, de-seated, but not disqualified.
Okay.
So then they are taking a chance to bring him in the Senate, and if he loses the Senate seat as well after disqualifying, if the decision comes later on, then definitely they have got many other candidates who will contest on his place.
Zana Ehsan Afzal Saab, your party keeps on saying or complaining about vote ko izzat do. And your concern has been this issue in the Senate elections also. But we have just identified to you, and you don't seem to actually contradict that impression that it was People's Party that actually played a pivotal part in bringing down your government in Balochistan in 2018 and to bringing about the major change in the Senate elections as well. So why are you actually rewarding people who actually might have stolen your votes? And why are you not standing with the party that is PTI that at least in principle stands with the same position that you had earlier?
So talking in reference to which candidate that we're supporting?
I'm talking about you not supporting PTI in bringing about the reforms in the parliament that are needed to amend the constitution.
First of all, our party is not against open ballot. We are for it, but PTI did not do the due diligence or the homework required to make a constitutional amendment. And if it had done
what is the homework, sir?
It is simply that they should have made a committee in the assembly which would have included all members of, all representatives of different parties, and they would have worked together for change in the bill, making an amendment in the constitution. That did not happen. Rather, PTI tried to bulldoze an incomplete election reform which the opposition was never taken or given a chance to give feedback or improve it. Hence, this was not done. Otherwise, if they had started this process maybe 3 months, 4 months or 6 months back, and they had made a little bit of consensus among different parties, I'm pretty sure that
only a week before tabling this bill, there was a parliamentary meeting on this matter, a committee meeting, and your party was also invited. But Mariam Nawaz Sahiba, who is not an elected leader of the party, at least not in the parliament, she is not. She actually vetoed the idea and your party didn't show up. And then you complain that it is the government side that isn't interested in the matter.
And she is disqualified as well?
Rana Sahab.
There was no effort done from the government side. It was too short a time, and if they had started this process earlier, maybe all opposition parties would have participated in this process.
The bill was in the committee for some time, right?
As far as I know, that it was only discussed for 22 minutes in the relevant standing committee, and that too the opposition was not heard.
Okay. So there was a bill in the committee and your party actually participated. Then you are saying that you are not being consulted.
Yes, of course. It was too short a process. You cannot bulldoze it, and they were not there to seek what the opposition was saying. They were there to implement what they had decided beforehand. So
at any time your party reached out to the government or treasury benches suggesting that there is a common interest here and let us work together. Did that happen?
Did you look at the session in the assembly? When the opposition was trying to speak, the government was, making ruckus and they were shouting and they were...
Yeah, and then you resorted to violence. The lawmakers did.
Resorted to violence.
Okay. Right. Ibrahim Khan Sahab, you are talking about the entire process. Your party actually expelled 20 members, but the people who received their votes by purchasing votes, they still sit in the Senate. And after many repetitive attempts, people like me kept on asking honorable guests like you, and then we were told that you are looking into that matter. Does it not concern you that there is lack of opprobrium in this case? And secondly, homework again.
Tell you the truth, I mean, that day when this bill was tabled, we gave a complete freedom of expression and the time to the opposition to talk on the subject.
No, but back to back, 3 ministers spoke. And that's why Naveed Kamar actually got sentimental, and then we saw the physical brawl between your MP and their MP, PMLN's MP.
And after that, Raja Sahab was given opportunity to speak, and his speech was literally, I don't want to repeat it here on the TV, and I mean, they were never interested to discuss the issue, discuss the bill. They were there to create fuss and, you know, make noises and
does it worry you?
Ibrahim
Khan, does it worry you? Because more or less the point of view, I appreciate that your party's point of view and PMLN's is more or less the same on this matter. Even if they have a different way to approach the matter, does it not worry you that a party which might be in strength, it might be third or fourth in the parliament, and which believes in use of money, may walk away with a lot of prize just because the two of you cannot sit together and work it out?
I don't think so. I mean, I have serious doubts, and it's just
no Chairman Yusuf Raza Gilani.
There is no way. There is no way. I mean,
then why is it that Asif Ali Zardari Sahab is in very chirpy mood these days? He's very happy these days.
Maybe he's just trying to reiterate his position that he is good at buying and selling, and that's all he is
doing your
at the
party,
moment. But he will
your party,
he will have it this time. Trust me.
Your party and Rana Sahab's party, both who have suffered because of ambiguity in the law, don't want to work together to actually take care of this problem that Zardari Sahab's money.
They are the one who went against Yusuf Raza Gilani's disqualification.
Yeah.
And now they are voting
so they are making it up.
They're making it up. So you have proven my point. So they have made it up. So they have no principles. The only principle is self-service, and this is why they are together as 12 parties.
I mean, we want to talk about principles and alliances now.
Right.
Do we?
Sure.
In Karachi?
In Karachi, yes. MQM, Pakistan, yes.
Okay. Let me, Naseem Siddiqui Sahab, kindly conclude on our behalf. What do you take away from this discussion? The two parties cannot reconcile, and therefore it will either be decided by Supreme Court, or then we will have a lack of resolution.
That's the baddest part of the Parliament, because they are lawmakers. They are considered to make law for the benefit of the people of Pakistan. And you have seen the scenes in Qawmi Assembly, what happens over
there. So it is the worst part, and I am told that we have to, the worst part of my program is to tell you that we have